What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video, and today I'll be showing you how you can host your Angular and React web applications using the EC2 service from AWS. So first of all, let's take a closer look at the EC2 service. So this is a scalable compute capacity provided by Amazon Web Services. Here, AWS takes care of the underlying physical infrastructure, which means you do not need to invest in any hardware. You can create an EC2 instance and terminate the instance when it is no longer required. Alright, heading over to VS Code, we are going to create our Angular and React web apps simultaneously. We are just going to create a basic Hello World app from scratch. So let's start by running npm install from scratch. So let's just do -g and then install create React app, and then while that's running, let's go to another terminal and then let's do npm install -g at angular /CLI. While that's running, let's go back to the previous terminal and then let's create our React application using npx create React and then app, and then let's call our app Hello World React. Let's just make sure it's building, and then let's go back to our Angular terminal, and then here we can create our Angular application with the command ng new and then the name of the application. So let's do Hello World Angular. Let's just choose a style sheet. While both the applications are being created, we are just going to skip ahead. Alright, welcome back. Now that both of our applications has successfully been created, we can go ahead and run each of our applications just to make sure that everything is fine. So let's first cd into our applications. So starting with our React application, I just did an ls just to look at what we have, and then we can do cd hello world React, and then we can do npm start. And then let's just give it a few seconds and then it should open up on localhost 3000. And here you can see our React app is successfully hosted on localhost 3000. Let's go back to Visual Studio. Let's go to our Angular terminal. Let's cd again. Let's ls again. And then let's cd into Hello World Angular, and then let's do ng serve to run the Angular application. And here we can click on this link to open up the Angular application on localhost 4200. Here you can see our Angular application is successfully being hosted on localhost. Alright, next up we need to initialize each of our applications on a Git repository. So I have made a Git repository for our React application, so EC2 hosting React, and also one for our Angular application, so that would be EC2 hosting Angular. And what we can do is we can basically just copy these commands by clicking on this button and then going back to our terminal. So here in our React terminal, just terminate the running instance and then copy the commands and then press enter again. And then if we go back to Git and then go to code, you can see that the application is successfully initialized in a side of a Git repository. Now let's do the same for Angular. So let's go to the Angular repository, click on this button, go back to VS Code and go to the Angular terminal, then paste the commands and press enter. And then we can go back to GitHub, Click on code again, and here you can see our Angular application is successfully initialized inside of a Git repository. Alright everyone, we are now here on the AWS console. So let's navigate to the EC2 instance service. So go ahead and click on the search bar and type in EC2. The reason why my EC2 instance here is on the ribbon is because I have favorited that service. So you can also favorite it just by clicking on the star. So let's navigate to the EC2 dashboard. Here on the EC2 dashboard, you can see information such as your service health and your running instances. Let's just click on the launch instance button. Now here we can launch an instance. So let's give our instance a name. So I'm going to give it the name of Yanru hosting instance. Then for the Amazon machine image, we are just going to select the Ubuntu AMI. If you want to stay in the free tier, make sure that you select a free tier AMI. This also goes for the instance type. I have selected tier3.micro, which is also in the free tier. Then for the key pair, I'm just going to select a key pair that I've already created. If you have not already created a key pair, click on create new key, and you will be prompted to enter the name of the key as well as the key type and the key format. I'm going to click on cancel because I already have a key. Then just scroll down a bit and then keep everything as it is. Scroll down a bit. We are going to ignore advanced details for now and then just click on launch instance. Alright, now that the instance has finished launching, we can go to instances. Now we can connect to our instance, so click on the running instance and then click on the connect button. Now we are going to connect to our instance using the EC2 instance connect method. So here it is giving us a warning saying that port 22 is currently open on all IPv4 addresses, and this is indicated by this IP address in the inbound rules in the security group, and that for increased security, we should consider adding it for our specific region. So let's click on this to go to our security group. Let's edit inbound rules. Go back here and just copy the IP for our region, and then paste the IP address over here. Click on the CIDR block, and then say save rules. But we are going to add another rule, so say edit inbound rules, say add rule, and then we are going to host our Angular application on 4200. So here in the port range, say 4200, and here just choose from anywhere, and then make sure that the type is custom TCP, and then say save rules. Then we can go back to our EC2 instance connect and then refresh the page. Then we can connect. After we have connected to our EC2, there is some stuff that we need to download. So let's run a few commands. So first of all, let's do sudo apt update. After we have connected to our EC2, there is some stuff that we need to download. So let's run a few commands. So first of all, let's do sudo apt update. Next up, let's do sudo apt and then install node and npm. So let's do node.js and then npm, and then with the -y flag. I spelled it wrong. Alright, after both npm and node has been installed, let's just make sure of a couple of versions by running node-v to check the node version, and running npm-v to check the npm version. And then let's also do get-v to check the git version, because that should already be installed. Alright, now we are going to clone the repository. So let's go back to the repository and click on code over here and then copy the link. Say git clone and then paste the link. And then let's go to the React repository, copy the link again, and then clone the React repository. Then let's do the Angular one first. So let's do ls cd into the Angular repository. Then let's install the Angular CLI again by running sudo npm install -g at angular /CLI. After we've installed the Angular CLI, let's just check the version again. So let's run ng and then version. And then next up, let's install the dependencies for the Angular application by running npm install. After the dependencies has been installed, we can run the application by doing ng serve, and then with the host flag, and then also the port flag specifying port 4200. Just say no over here, and you can also say no here. And then you can see the Angular application is building. Alright, so the build has completed, and now we can take this public IP address of the EC2 instance, copy it, open up a new tab, and then put port 4200 after the IP address, and then click enter. And here you can see that our Angular application is successfully hosted on the EC2 instance. Let's go back, shut down the instance just by doing Control and C. Let's go to the React repository. Alright, so inside of the React repository, we have already installed npm and node. Let's just install the dependencies by running npm install again. Next up, we can build the React application by running npm build. And then for simple deployment, we can install the serve package. So let's do npm, sudo npm, and then install -g serve. And then let's run the application by doing serve, and then s, and then build. So the S flag indicates that we are running a single page application. And then lastly, the L flag and then port 4200. And then you can copy the IP address again with port 4200. And here you can see our React app is successfully hosted on our EC2 instance. Alright, now this is good and all, but the thing is, if you close the EC2 instance connect session right now and you refresh, it'll say this site can't be reached and the server has been disconnected. So basically we need to enable the EC2 instance to keep the server running even though that we aren't connecting to the instance. So let's quickly do that. So let's connect to the session again. Now let's just go back to our React directory. React. And then forgot the CD. And then we're supposed to install a package. So we're going to do sudo and then npm install with a -g flag, and then pm2 is the package name. So quickly install that. And then how this works is we're going to run the exact same command that we used to serve the application, except we're going to, so it's this command, except we're going to do pm2 and then start. And then we're going to put quotation marks around the command. And then we're going to run it. Let's go back to our URL application, refresh, and you can see the server is back up and running. But now if you close the EC2 Instance Connect tab and then refresh, you can see the server is still up and running. That's it for this video, guys. I've shown you how to host your React and Angular applications on an EC2 instance. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again later.